Yo guys, I'm HP, this is Dr. Pink, and today's topic is rock guitar, the Dorian mode. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe to my channel, hit the notification button, and also join the HPCrazy guitar community. So what are we talking about today? I'll show you. I created a track here, and we're gonna practice the Dorian. And so on. We just learned how to use the Dorian mode in a rock guitar setting, starting from the easy part, just to get an orientation on the fretboard, and also how to go to more wilder stuff step by step. So the first thing we need to know here is when do we use the Dorian mode? That's quite a thing. This track is in G minor, and it's moving from G minor or G minor to C major. And if you have such a structure, this is called a 2-5 structure, then you play Dorian on the G minor. Well, you can play pentatonic, of course, but the pentatonic will not really. When you have this note here and you play C, you already hear. See, that creates this kind of sound we need to have this one here. And that's what we're talking about today, how you really put your souling and adapt to this changement in chord, different ideas, how you can do that, and also I'll show you a little riff where you create the Dorian mode. Okay, let's get started. Let's first start with a little riff here. It's really simple to create this kind of vibe of a G Dorian. You first play this chord here. It's basically a B flat, but since we have the G in the bass, this creates us a G minor 7 chord, and then you just move it up to C. So you can also add this one here as a little figure, also fits really nicely. And then the cool thing when you play a riff, to make it sound cool, you always play the typical rhythm figures 1 and 2, and so 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1, and then you have an answer in the second bar, and the answer is basically the same, but instead of 1 you play the 1 and. I'll show you the backing track. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2 and 3, 4, 3, 4, 1, 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2 and 3, 4 and. When you have these 2-bar of riffs or 2-bar rhythm figures, you always sound cool, and you switch between on and off beat, which is happening here. So you have this figure here, and this represents basically G Dorian. I can also play it up here. Here again we have a B flat major, and then we move up to C major. We play the same thing up here. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's really cool, and when you play it in a rock guitar setting, it's always downstroke, so there's no alternate picking here. We can do the same thing up here with G minor. Here, 12, 11, 10. And then when it goes to C, just add the pink in a 12. This creates us a C7 chord. Same thing in green. 1, 2, 3, 4. And so on. You can also add a sound with more distortion. Works really cool. I mean, if you want to have more distortion, you just do the... You just use these power chords and they create the Dorian vibe. So, now let's get to the Dorian mode. How do we find the Dorian mode? You guys probably all know your pentatonic positions. You should know them, otherwise you need to learn them. So G minor pentatonic here. Here in position 1 and let's do position 4. So if you want it, you can use this grid and just you add the 2 additional notes, or if you just want to go for Dorian, just add 1 additional note, and this is this note here. The E. Why? Because that's the triad of the C, and that defines Dorian. This is defining note. So now the easiest way to play Dorian, you just play your regular licks, and when the situation comes, when the C comes, then you go for this E. Same here up here. It's here, okay? What you also can do is you make half-tone bendings on the E. Something like this. Let me put a rock sound now. I'm gonna switch off the delay. And let me see how this works. And that already sounds pretty cool. It's really cool. You probably know Oye Como Va by Carlos Santana. You can take this lick, this is like the defining lick of Dorian here. So when it comes to C, you play the notes which are in the chord here. It's really simple. Or up here. You can do the same up here. So the E is the most important note. You know, you can also play a figure like. You can make the opposite. You go here, and then when the C comes, you slide down here in the E. Or up here, when the C comes. I'll show you. The high position. And so on. So that's the easy way to express Dorian. Just use your normal regular pentatonic licks, and when the C comes, then you just adapt with the one defining note by Dorian, which is the E. For the more advanced players among you, you probably want to have more meat on the plate. So what can we do here? And what I really recommend is learn this pattern here. 3 note per string, G Dorian. Or here, 3 note per string. And the trick is to resolve it properly on the E. Let's see how that works. Or in the high position. That's pretty cool. Or you can make faster sequence runs. Can resolve it in the high position also, or here. That's a really good method. And there you can start using these 3 note per string scales, and that's why they're cool. Why are 3 notes per string patterns cool? Because then you can play really easy sextols, you know, and you just make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so 6 notes per beat. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then you need to find the resolving point, either go down or go up. Okay? That's really up to you. I mean, but just that you see the really cool thing. What you also can do, you play those, you know, these B flat major and C major arpeggios. This is B flat major here. This is C major here. Okay? Or, well, no, we're not doing this one here. You can make the easy way. That works, or the sextol thing, that will be sweep picking. Both works. Let's see how it works with the track. First the easy one. And now the sweep picking sextols. so on. So as you can see, there are different ways of expressing the Dorian mode, and it doesn't mean you have to play, you know, when people think about modes, they think I have to play fast, I have to play runs, but that's not the case. It's knowing what a mode is, what defines a mode, and then you have different, let's say, gems, little cool gems, and you just put them where you want them, and then you express something really nicely. Yo guys, that was a rock guitar Dorian mode. I hope you got some insight how you can use the Dorian mode in a rock guitar setting, understand what it is the defining note, what you can do with it. And I mean, you can choose the easy path, just going for the either defining note, or you go with runs or whatever. And I mean, this is the main discussion with students over many years. How many notes are needed that something sounds cool? The answer is, you have to feel the notes, and if it's only a few notes, that's cool. It doesn't mean it's only if it's a few notes. That's cool. If you're more the guy who loves runs, then you make runs. That's also cool. But the thing is, you need to understand what it is, and you need to hear what you're doing. So first, make yourself comfortable with the mode, how it sounds. What you can do is da 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 da. You try to sing it. It's a good method to get to know the sound of a mode, and then you start hearing or pre-hearing what you want to do. Then that's the way you're gonna be really expressive and musically cool in what you're doing on your rock guitar, soloing in a Dorian mode setting, or any setting, but now specifically for Dorian. Good. I will write down a few of those licks I showed, plus the scales and the figures I showed. Is going to be available, plus this backing track in the HPCrazy Guitar Academy. Please join there, make a premium membership upgrade, or also with the free member account, and just to get more information, and yeah, you'll see it. Thanks for joining here, and please share my channel to other users. Support it and help me and Dr. Pink to grow a little bit in this anti-guitar musical environment. In electronic music, you don't really hear guitar so much anymore. I'm trying to change that a little bit with my little humble compositions. I just made one yesterday. Good. Me and Dr. Pink are saying goodbye.